So 2024 is officially over, and that means it's time for me to name my top 5 movies of 2024. It was a pretty good year, not the best year. There are some movies I was hoping for. They ended up getting pushed to 2025, but I still had a great year. And before I get into my top 5 movies of the year, I'm going to start with my honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions are as follows: Gladiator 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, A Quiet Place, Day 1, Speak No Evil, Alien Romulus, and Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. So coming in at number 5 is Inside Out 2. I liked this movie a lot because it touched on an emotion that a lot of us deal with, and I felt like this movie was really targeting the Gen Z and the millennial generation the most when it came to anxiety. You know, anxiety is sometimes laughed at, you sometimes get shamed, and what this movie just did a great job was it kind of just reminded you not to feel ashamed or guilty or any less of a human for being anxious over anything. You know, anxious about life, anxious about your future, anxious about making friends or starting somewhere new or winning a hockey game. This movie just was phenomenal. Once again, Pixar really never misses when it comes to their movies. Number 4 is Nosferatu. I had very high hopes for this movie. I knew that Robert Eggers was going to do some amazing work and just making it 10 times cooler than the original, and this movie was everything I was hoping it was going to be. It was really dark. It was a little too dark at times, but the movie did such a great job really paying homage to the classic Count Dracula, to the vampire genre, to the gothic horror genre, and of course the beautiful cinematography, the acting, the immersiveness, just how terrified you were the entire movie, how uneasy you felt during the entire movie. And this movie, I hope, wins a few Academy Awards because it is well deserved. Number 3 is Wicked. Now this movie was a movie I was pretty optimistic about, but I was also a little skeptical about because Ariana Grande, I was probably the most skeptical about her performance because I've never seen her act in anything. I knew her singing was going to be amazing, and it was, but her acting also impressed me. But the thing that impressed me the most, other than the acting by Cynthia and Ariana, is the incredible cinematography of Oz, and just the bright, vibrant colors, the landscapes, the costumes, the characters, the music. Phenomenal. This movie is going to win awards, I can already tell you that. There are going to be awards all over the place for this movie. It's shattering the box office. Like, it was a movie that people have been waiting years for. A lot of things were hinging on this movie doing really well. And we're getting a part 2, so that's going to be really fun to see this year. But it was a movie that really blew away my expectations. Number 2 is Dune Part 2. Now this movie I actually wasn't originally going to see because I saw the first Dune movie. I did not understand it at all. I was so lost and confused during most of the Dune movie. I wasn't going to see Dune Part 2 because I didn't understand the first movie, so why would I understand the second? So I looked into Dune a little bit more, getting familiar with the characters, and Dune Part 2 is a masterpiece. There are not many movies out there that are made like this anymore. The cinematography is off the charts, the acting, the music, the beautiful work that Denis Villeneuve puts into his movies, and it was incredible. It made so much money. It's gonna win awards too. I mean, Dune is one of those movies that it just makes you believe in epic cinema movies that don't exist a whole lot anymore, but these movies are keeping that style of movies alive. And finally, my most anticipated movie of the year was Deadpool and Wolverine, just because we've been waiting for this team up for a long time. You know, never thought Hugh Jackman would come back and play Wolverine. He said he was retired. Ryan Reynolds was able to convince Hugh to come back. Hugh put the work in, and he is like, I think 55 or 56, and he's got shredded, like the best shape of his life. And of course we got to see him don the classic Wolverine suit, the yellow and blue, the mask. The story was really good, really enjoyed the story, but I felt a lot of this movie was fan service. We got a lot of great cameos. I'm hoping that there are a couple of those characters that show back up. Gambit, I hope, shows up again in the future. Channing Tatum blew me away. I didn't expect him to, really take on that role as Gambit. as well as he did. Blade, I hope Wesley Snipes comes back. And then we got all these different Wolverine variants, Henry Cavill's variant. I mean, this movie is very fan service, but it was done really, really well, because my biggest fear for this movie was it would be too much fan service and not enough content. They balanced it really, really well. The story was still really well fleshed out. The characters were well fleshed out, and then of course we got all the other fun interactions between Wolverine, Deadpool, and all of his other variants. All around an amazing movie. It definitely lived up to the hype, and that's why it became my number one for top movies of 2024. 2025 is here, and I'm really excited. This year is going to be really great. I got a lot of reviews I'm going to be doing, a lot of content I'm going to be putting out there, so make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so you do not miss out on anything coming out this year. And if you would like to see any of my reviews of any of the movies I talked about in this video, I will leave all the links for those in the description below. See you soon.